Hi guys, it's Alicia. If this is your first time here, and if not, welcome back. Alright guys, we are back with another episode in our Fearless Finance series. This video is going to talk about some of the steps you should do when you are starting a business or establishing a freelance job. I'm going to give you about 7 steps. I'll make sure that I'll have them here as I am talking about them. I also have them below in the description box. So let's get started. Okay, so you've just decided that corporate America just isn't doing it for you. Whether that is you want to create a business and completely leave corporate America, or you've decided, hey, this hobby is actually making me money. I want to now turn this into a freelance career. Whatever that is for you, welcome. So one of the first things that you're going to do as a business is you're going to decide what your business structure is going to be. There are 3 main ones that people think of when you think of a business structure. Most people are going to initially fall into what's called a sole proprietorship. It is just where one single person owns the business. You can establish and hire contractors, but for the most part, it is you running that business. The one easy side is that it's very easy to start, it's very easy to maintain, but one of the disadvantages is that there is no legal limitations between you as a person and then you as your business. Once people have started making a decent amount of money, they decide, hey, I kind of want to separate the two, and then from there they decide that they want to do an LLC. An LLC is a limited liability corporation, which for the most part separates you as a person from you as a business, so that if the business does have any debt obligations, business obligations, it separates the two. For the purposes of an example, we're going to say Jane Doe owns Grayish LLC. Grayish LLC is completely separate from Jane Doe. So let's just say, for example, Grayish LLC gets into it with a vendor. The vendor decides that they want to sue Grayish for X number of money. The lawsuit is only liable for the funds that Grayish has, not the money that Jane Doe has, because she has established a limited liability corporation for that. So that's where a lot of people have decided that they want to go into. In the LLC, there are a couple of different ones. You have S Corp, C Corp. I would say to decide and get with an accounting to decide the best one for you. The next task you want to do after you have decided your business structure is you want to apply for a federal tax ID number. A federal tax ID number, or an EIN, is a 9-digit number that basically is your company's social security number. You need that for quite a few important reasons. One of the most important reasons is to be able to file taxes, and then of course to apply for business bank accounts, business credit, business loans, all that kind of stuff. It's really simple, easy to do on the IRS website. I hear it takes less than a couple of hours, but it's definitely one of those that should be at the top of your list once you've decided what your business structure is going to look like. So we have established our business structure, we have applied for a federal tax ID number. Once we have that federal tax ID number, we are going to go ahead and open our business bank account. And I will say this works for any business structure, even though you are a sole proprietorship and there's no legal differentiation between your personal and your business. You want to establish a business bank account so that you have a proper separation of personal funds with business funds. I recommend getting both a business checking and a savings account, where your savings account can be used to have the savings from your business, and then your checking account could be more of the day-to-day supplies, payroll, expenses, that kind of stuff. And then your savings account is literally to save, to be able to do things later on, whether that's be able to add on to your business, get a car or whatever using the business or whatever. But you want to have 2 different ones. The same way you have a personal checking and savings account where you're saving for something else, I would do the same thing with a business checking account. So we have established our business structure, we have gotten a federal EIN number, we have opened up a business bank account. Next up, and I have this on the 4th, even though this might not apply to everyone, and that is to establish a business license for your state. Some states don't require a business license. I know for Alabama, regardless of your business, you have to get what's called a privilege license. What I will say, it just really depends on your state. So I would check your local state and make sure that you don't have to have a business license, whether that's a privilege license for me in Alabama, or even a seller's permit that I have to get in Alabama to be able to collect sales tax on my online business. Whatever it might be, I would check with your local state just to make sure that you are in regulations for whatever businesses or business that you are opening. Number 4 on the list is universal, regardless of what business you're in, and that is to create and establish a bookkeeping or accounting software. I remember helping out one of my high school teachers when they had their business and everything was very manual, keeping up with expenses and keeping up with these receipts and that receipts. Now in this day and age, it is completely done through electronic means. means. One of the main ones that people think of when they talk about bookkeeping software is QuickBooks, and QuickBooks has came a long way from just being one of those where you house expenses. Now it can house expenses, it can create payroll for you, it can establish all of the different financial statements that you need to help basically file your taxes for a business. It's one of those end all be all keep all websites. There is another website called Xero that I was looking at when I was doing research. It's a little bit more user friendly. It also is a little bit more cheaper. I don't know all the components that Xero has in there, but I know that that is a good bookkeeping and accounting software that a lot of businesses use. One of the ones that I used when I first started out my business, especially my LLC, was 1-800-ACCOUNTANT. One of the main reasons why I love that was that you can add on an accountant to your service. So let's just say you are in the Charlotte area and you have no idea, hey, I need a CPA, I can't find one, I don't feel like finding one. 1-800-ACCOUNTANT has the ability for you to be able to add on a tax accountant to your service. You pay them annually and that comes with it. They also have a bookkeeping software where once you categorize something about 2 to 3 times, then they remember that they auto know which one that is. So moving forward, you don't have to categorize, let's just say your postage. If you pay postage through UPS every single time, as it goes on and you're still categorizing that same transaction as postage and shipping, then moving forward it auto categorizes that for you. So that is one of the software functions that I used when I was first starting out, and definitely like that I was able to add on a bunch of different services, especially when I was in an area and I didn't really feel like going out to find an accountant. So those are the 3 that either I'm familiar with or I have people in the business that are familiar with. But you definitely want to create and establish a good bookkeeping and accounting software. That way when it comes time to actually do your taxes, you're not having to sit with a pen and paper and decide where your receipts are. All right, number 6 on the list is to apply for a business credit card. A lot of times just starting out, your business credit is non-existent. So most credit card companies use your personal credit score off of the basis of them establishing your business credit. You definitely want to get a business credit card, and I personally put absolutely everything on my business credit cards. I have 2, an American Express and a Bank of America. They're both 2 of my favorite business credit cards. They offer cash back, they offer rewards and points, and so I use my business credit cards to put, like I said, absolutely everything on there. And so not only am I able to get these cash rewards and these points and all this kind of stuff, but then I'm also adding to my business credit. So if I want to get a business card down the line, or get a business loan, or be able to get a mortgage to be able to have an office space, all of that is done off the strength of my business credit, and me using those every single month helps establish my business credit. So like I said, most companies are using your personal credit score to be able to have a business credit card. So if you don't really have the personal credit score to be able to do that, I would say get either one of those up, but you definitely want to establish a business credit card. And then number 7, which really isn't a financial aspect, but I still think that it will help in terms of sales, and that is to establish an online presence. I know in this digital age, it is absolutely essential to have an online presence. For those that are like me, selling products online, or you have an online website, it's of course you're going to have an online presence because you're going to have a website. If you are one of those where you have an online business, you also want to get into the social media space. Pinterest is a really good resource that a lot of businesses underutilize. Get on Pinterest. Instagram, TikTok, you want to get to where your consumers are. If you have a brick and mortar, you also need to establish some kind of online presence. You want to get on Instagram, you want to show your photos. If you have a restaurant, I want to be able to see what I am ordering. I'm a very visual person, so immediately when I go to a restaurant, I'm checking their menu. Do they have an Instagram? Do they have a TripAdvisor? Do they have a TikTok? I want to be able to see what I'm ordering. So if you have a, I don't know, short rib plate, I want to be able to see what that looks like. And so establishing an online presence not only helps your business, but then also helps get the word out. So if I am talking to some random person, they're saying, oh yeah, I'm going to Nashville, I'm like, oh my god, I went to XYZ restaurant, let me show it to you. And I can easily pull it up on their Instagram. It has your hours, it has your address. So you want to be able to establish an online presence, and that way it helps get the word out, and it helps open up your business to a lot of unknown faces and eyes that cannot physically see your store. If you are offering a service, I want to see what your service looks like. If I go online and I can book brows, I don't know if you're really good. What do your brows look like? I don't know if you've done any one of my color. I don't know if you're offering a makeup. Have you done anyone that has my darker skin tone? So you definitely want to help establish an online presence and then be active on that. I don't want to look and see that you haven't posted a picture on Instagram since 2021. So for 2 years, I don't know if you've done for the last 2 years, you could have had employee turnover. This apple pie might not be what it hits for 2 years ago because I haven't seen it. So on top of establishing an online presence, you want to make sure that you are active on that. Most companies, as they get into the swing of things and they're starting to be successful, they realize that they really don't have the acumen to be able to handle social media, so they outsource that. I've seen a lot of businesses do that. They outsource that. They're like, hey, we'll send you all the pictures, I just don't know how to put them together. Or hey, can you come to the restaurant once a week or once a month, shoot some content, and that way you have enough content for the rest of the month. I've seen a lot of businesses, especially brick and mortar businesses, where the owners are a little older and don't really get with the hype of Instagram and TikTok. They just simply outsource it to someone else who can be better equipped to handle the social media presence. But you definitely want to have an online presence for your business, regardless on what industry you're in. All right, so guys, that is the end of this video. I think that was 7 steps to help creating or establishing your business. So I will make sure that I put them below in the description box, as well as a couple of other resources. I will link the QuickBooks, I'll link the 1-800 accountant. So if I mentioned a business, I'll link the Bank of America credit card application and Amex. If I mention it, I'll make sure to put it below which each individual step to help you see it more clearly. So if you guys have enjoyed these types of videos, once again, if you are looking for something in this Fearless Finance series, please put it in the comment section below. It really helps me to create this kind of content. So if you have reached the end of this video and you have not subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe. Also click the notification bell so you don't miss any videos from me. While you're here, guys, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and do all the things that the other YouTubers tell you to do. And I'm gonna catch you guys Thursday, 7 o'clock. Later.